Have you ever wondered what truly makes a man irreplaceable? What are the qualities that, once you find them, should make you stop and think, this is the one? These aren't just your average traits. These are the rare, jaw-dropping qualities that set the best apart from the rest. And here's the kicker. If you find a man with these characteristics, don't let him go. I'm Vernon, and today I'm going to reveal 5 qualities in a man so powerful, so undeniably valuable, that they could change the course of your relationship and life. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss out on more insights that can change the way you see relationships. Let's get into the real traits that define a great man, starting with the first quality that separates the good from the bad. Quality number 1: emotional intelligence. It goes beyond just understanding your own emotions. It's about truly understanding and managing both your emotions and the emotions of others. A man who possesses emotional intelligence can navigate the complexities of human interaction with grace and insight, making him not just a partner, but a source of strength and stability in your life. Recently, my neighbor Margaret told me about her husband Robert, and it reminded me of something I've observed countless times. After 42 years of marriage, she still lights up when she talks about how he handles difficult moments. She said, "When I'm having a terrible day, maybe the grandchildren were overwhelming, or I received troubling news about a friend, Robert doesn't try to fix everything immediately. He sits beside me, acknowledges what I'm feeling, and then asks the most beautiful question: what do you need from me right now?" This is emotional intelligence in its purest form. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius taught, the wise person first seeks to understand, and only then seeks to be understood. A man with true emotional intelligence doesn't just recognize emotions, both his own and yours. He is deeply attuned to them. He responds not with impulsive reactions, but with patience, wisdom, and compassion. He can read the room, sense what's unspoken, and knows how to offer support without overwhelming you. It's not just about knowing how to handle emotions, but about creating an environment where both of you feel heard, valued, and understood. The research backs this up beautifully. Dr. John Gottman's 4-decade study of couples found that emotional intelligence, specifically the ability to repair emotional disconnections, is the strongest predictor of relationship success. Men who possess this quality don't just react, they respond with intention and care. A man who actively works to understand emotional dynamics becomes more valuable as a partner with each passing year. It's not just about managing his own feelings, but also about being present and perceptive to yours. Over time, he learns to read the subtle cues, the changes in tone, body language, and even silence that indicate what's really going on beneath the surface. As he grows in emotional maturity, he becomes better at navigating conflicts, providing support when needed, and showing empathy without judgment. Does the man in your life demonstrate this kind of emotional awareness? Because this foundation supports everything else we're about to explore, including a quality that most people dramatically underestimate. Quality number 2, unwavering integrity. Integrity is often considered the cornerstone of a man's character, particularly in relationships. It goes beyond mere honesty. It's about consistently living in alignment with one's values, regardless of external pressures or circumstances. A man with unwavering integrity doesn't just tell the truth when it's convenient. He acts according to his principles, even when no one is watching. A man who stands by his word, whose actions match his promises, becomes someone you can rely on no matter what life throws your way. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships shows that integrity is one of the most significant predictors of long-term relationship satisfaction. In relationships where integrity is a shared value, partners report higher levels of trust, emotional security, and mutual respect. This means that men who live with integrity, whether in the small day-to-day decisions or the big life choices, foster deeper emotional connections that stand the test of time. Speaking of foundations, I remember something that happened to my sister Dorothy 15 years ago. She was dating a gentleman named Charles, and everything seemed wonderful until a small incident revealed his true character. They were at a restaurant, and the waiter accidentally didn't charge them for their desserts, about $12. Dorothy watched as Charles quietly called the waiter over and insisted on paying the correct amount. It was such a small thing, she told me later, but it showed me who he was when nobody was watching. Confucius taught that the man of wisdom is never of two minds. The man of benevolence never worries. The man of courage is never afraid. This perfectly describes a man of unwavering integrity. He doesn't have multiple versions of himself, one for public consumption and another for private moments. This kind of integrity creates something precious, complete trust. When a man's words consistently align with his actions, you can build a life with confidence. You're not constantly wondering about hidden agendas or waiting for the other shoe to drop. Modern psychology confirms what ancient wisdom taught. Integrity reduces what researchers call cognitive load in relationships. When your partner is consistently honest and reliable, your mind is free to focus on growth and joy rather than vigilance and worry. A man of integrity doesn't just avoid major deceptions. He's honest about small things, keeps commitments, and takes responsibility for his mistakes. These seemingly minor behaviors create the bedrock of trust that allows love to flourish. How do you think integrity plays a role in your relationships? Do you believe it's the foundation of lasting trust and emotional connection? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how this powerful quality shapes our connections over time. But integrity alone, while crucial, isn't enough. Because, as we'll discover next, there's a quality that transforms good intentions into meaningful connection. And it's the one insight that changed everything for me. Quality number 3, the art of deep listening. Now we come to what I believe would be transformative, and I want to share something deeply personal. 3 years ago, I was having coffee with my dear friend William, and I found myself talking about a difficult decision regarding my late wife's belongings. I'd been struggling with this for months, but something remarkable happened during our conversation. William didn't offer solutions. He didn't share similar experiences. Instead, he listened with such complete attention that I actually heard myself work through the problem. By the end of our talk, I had my answer. Not because he gave it to me, but because his deep listening created space for my own wisdom to emerge. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu wrote, "Silence is a source of great strength." A man who truly listens understands this profound truth. He knows that the gift of his complete attention is often more valuable than any advice he could offer. I am not the man with that remarkable quality. It is William. This quality becomes even more precious as we age. Dr. Edward Hallowell's research on attention shows that deep listening activates the same neural pathways associated with love and care. When someone truly listens to us, our brains literally register it as an act of love. But in a world that's constantly buzzing with distractions, where attention is split in 1,000 directions, genuine listening has almost become extinct. The ability to sit quietly and truly hear someone without rushing to respond or fix things is a dying art. A man who offers this gift stands apart from everyone else. He doesn't just listen with his ears, he listens with his heart, making the person speaking feel seen, heard, and valued in a way that is increasingly hard to come by today. Think about the conversations you treasure most. Chances are they were with someone who listened deeply, without distractions or interruptions. When someone truly listens, it creates a space where both people can connect on a deeper level. This isn't just about exchanging words, it's about understanding each other's thoughts and feelings in a way that fosters intimacy. The act of deep listening doesn't just improve communication, it builds trust, strengthens the bond between people, and makes you feel valued in a way that words alone cannot convey. It's a powerful, unspoken gesture that makes the other person feel seen and heard at the deepest level. Moving to the next part, let me briefly revisit what we've discovered so far. Emotional intelligence that creates safety, integrity that builds trust, and deep listening that fosters intimacy. These three qualities form a powerful foundation, but there's more to explore. And what comes next? Well, it's about the daily choices that prove a man's character over time. Quality number 4. Consistent acts of devotion. A man who demonstrates devotion in this way understands that love is built not in moments of grandeur, but in the daily, quiet acts that make a relationship feel steady and secure. Think about the small things, the thoughtful messages that check in during a busy day, the cup of coffee made just the way you like it, or the way he remembers something important you mentioned in passing and acts on it. These are the acts that truly define devotion. It's not about doing something extraordinary once in a while. It's about making the ordinary extraordinary by showing up day after day. A man who is devoted doesn't wait for a special occasion to express his feelings. Instead, he finds ways to demonstrate his care through his actions. Whether it's being there when you need him, offering support when you're feeling down, or simply being present without needing to be asked. It turns out that these small, thoughtful acts create a sense of security and trust that helps deepen emotional bonds and foster long-term happiness.
Consistent acts of devotion create a sense of stability and emotional safety in a relationship. When a man regularly shows up with genuine care, it builds a foundation of trust. He becomes someone who's reliable, someone who can be counted on through the ups and downs. In a world that often focuses on fleeting moments of excitement, this steady, everyday devotion can be the most powerful sign of love and commitment. The Roman philosopher Seneca taught that love in its essence is spiritual fire. But I would add that this fire is kept burning through countless small daily acts of care and consideration. A man worth keeping doesn't just love you, he actively, consistently demonstrates that love through his choices. These acts don't require grand gestures or expensive gifts. They require something far more valuable: consistent attention to your well-being and happiness. It's remembering your favorite flowers and surprising you with them for no reason. It's learning your schedule and checking in when you have a challenging appointment. It's noticing when you're tired and taking initiative to help. Research from Dr. Gary Chapman shows that these love languages in action create what he calls an emotional bank account. Each thoughtful act makes a deposit, building a reserve of goodwill and affection that sustains relationships through difficult times. What distinguishes this quality from mere politeness is consistency over time. Anyone can be charming for a few months. A man worth keeping maintains these loving behaviors year after year because they flow from genuine care rather than performance. Pay attention to patterns, not just isolated incidents. Does he consistently notice your needs? Does he regularly find small ways to make your life easier or more pleasant? These behaviors reveal a man who sees loving you as a privilege, not a burden. Does this sound like the kind of devotion that truly builds a lasting connection? Give this video a like. Your feedback means a lot. Let's keep the conversation going. This consistency naturally leads us to our final quality, one that requires tremendous courage and reveals the deepest strength of character.
Quality number 5. The courage to be vulnerable. Imagine a man standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping around him, the ground beneath his feet uncertain. Most people in this position would hesitate, afraid of what might happen if they let go of their guard. But a man with the courage to be vulnerable takes that step forward, embracing the unknown, knowing that true connection can only come from allowing himself to be seen fully, without defenses or facades. The courage to be vulnerable is not about weakness, it's about strength. The strength to admit when you're afraid, uncertain, or struggling. It's the ability to share your insecurities, your doubts, and your true self. Not expecting to be fixed, but simply wanting to be understood. A man with this quality doesn't hide behind bravado or pretenses. He's not afraid to express his emotions, even when doing so might make him feel exposed or vulnerable. The ancient Greek concept of parrhesia, speaking truthfully despite risk, applies beautifully here. A man worth keeping has the courage to be genuinely vulnerable with you. He shares his fears, admits his mistakes, and reveals his authentic self even when it's uncomfortable. Vulnerability requires tremendous strength, and it's often misunderstood as a weakness. But the truth is, it takes far more courage to be vulnerable than to remain guarded.
Dr. Brené Brown's groundbreaking research on vulnerability shows that the ability to show up authentically, even in the face of uncertainty and emotional risk, is not just a sign of bravery, it's the foundation of courage, creativity, and transformation. Vulnerability isn't about exposing every detail of one's life or being open to every person. It's about having the strength to share your true self with someone you trust, knowing that doing so carries emotional risk. This quality becomes especially precious as we mature. By this point in life, we've all experienced our share of loss, disappointment, and failure. These are the defining moments that shape who we are. And a man who can acknowledge and openly share how these experiences have influenced him is showing a level of emotional maturity that fosters true connection. He doesn't seek to impress you with an idealized version of himself or pretend to be flawless. Instead, he's offering you something much more meaningful: authenticity. He invites you into a partnership where vulnerability is welcomed, and where both of you can be your true selves, flaws and all. It's in this space of openness and acceptance that real intimacy flourishes, allowing both partners to grow together in trust and understanding. But vulnerability must be balanced with emotional stability. This isn't about drama or emotional volatility. It's about the courage to be genuinely known. When a man possesses all 5 of these qualities, emotional intelligence, unwavering integrity, deep listening, consistent devotion, and the courage to be vulnerable, he becomes not just a partner, but a true companion for life's journey.
If you recognize these qualities in someone, treasure them. These characteristics don't develop overnight. They're cultivated through years of conscious choice and personal growth. A man who embodies them has done the hard work of becoming worthy of deep love. And if you don't see these qualities in your current situation, don't settle. At our stage of life, we understand that time is precious. We deserve relationships that nourish our souls and celebrate our wisdom. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these qualities resonates most strongly with your experience? Have you witnessed these characteristics in action? Your stories and insights could help someone else recognize the treasure that might already be in their life. Like this video, share it with someone who would benefit, and subscribe for more insights. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss new content that helps you build stronger, more fulfilling relationships. Because at the end of the day, we're all seeking the same thing: to love and be loved authentically, deeply, and well. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching my video.